All right, you guys. I'm stoked. I'm reading the comments. I'm so excited about tonight. And this is a really special time, Katie. I mean, you are celebrating a massive promotion. Congratulations again on presidential.
Thank you.
How's it feeling? Have you
Oh,
absorbed it all?
a little bit. It still feels like so unreal, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you guys have exciting announcements. Your team is pumped. You had an explosive check. I mean, well over 30K. I mean, come on.
Crazy. It feels, I mean, honestly, it's just it's so surreal. Like having that check hit our bank account on Monday, I was like, oh my God.
Like, what do we do?
Yeah, exactly. We're like, what do we do?
Well, this is huge and an honor, and I know everyone is so excited to have you on tonight. And just pouring into the team and giving back is so big. And there are people watching right now, Katie, that are drooling to have what you have right now. And I think about that story that you shared when we did our Wisdom Wednesday together, and you talked about going to that one team, one mission, hearing about being able to make $30,000 a month. And then here you are, flash forward just a few years later, and that's what you're making. I mean, big deal. Like, this is huge. And there are people watching that want a fraction of that right now, that are in a position where you joined for $200. And tonight is all about creating urgency in this business, creating urgency to promote. And can you just briefly, before we get started, just share just a little snippet of your story and what It Works has done for you and your family? Because it's so big.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So super shortened version. Okay. So I started this business because I got pregnant at 18. My first daughter, Cammie. I had big dreams when I was younger. I really wanted to be a doctor growing up. Had no intentions of, being a mom or any of that kind of stuff. And I ended up getting pregnant. Me and Zach, we've been together since I was 16. We met at work. And so we got pregnant and we were like, holy cow. We were madly in love. And at that point, I was just terrified to be a mom. We were struggling really, really bad. I found this business when I was 19, and I had tried something before and it didn't work out. And I was absolutely like against this, like, no way, Jose. But I had seen the wraps. I was curious about the wraps. I won a wrap for free through like a giveaway online. And this is kind of funny. So a quick version. The first time I saw It Works, I actually was in the gym and somebody approached me, they contacted me, they never followed up with me. So I think that's so crazy because the follow-up is so important. But the second time that I was introduced to It Works was through the giveaway on Facebook. The girl kept talking to me and just kept talking to me and kept talking to me. And I was like, I just thought this girl was overly nice. I don't know. It was really weird because she kept talking to me. And I was like, okay, like, whatever, you won't shut up. But, I want this free wrap, so I'm going to keep talking to you. So anyways, I got the wrap and tried it. It worked. I was really excited. I wanted more but couldn't afford it. So she kept talking to me and kept talking to me. And then eventually I was like, all right, I'm all in, like, whatever. Because the one thing that she said that really stuck out to me was like, I feel like you would be really good at this. And she kept saying that to me over and over and over. And at the time we were so broke, like we couldn't even afford groceries. I was an extreme couponer because, that was the only way we were able to eat food. So I was extreme couponing. I was in nursing school. I was so busy. I didn't have time for anything extra really, but I knew that if I didn't do anything else, I was going to have to, get a job and basically never see my baby because nursing school is like a full-time job. So I was busy and crazy, and it was just terrifying point in my life, honestly, because it was kind of getting to the point where like you're about to have to, do that shame walk of asking your parents for help.
Mm-hmm.
And so I joined the business, and a couple months in, I went Ruby, which was nuts. Then a few months later, we went Emerald, and then I think I went Diamond 10 months, Double Diamond 11 months, earned like, I don't even remember at this point, like $50,000 or $60,000 in bonuses. And then the second year in, we went Triple, and then earned another 50 plus Zach's bonuses, whatever that was. I think it's another 20 or something at that point. I have such bad mom brain after having a second baby. And then now presidential for another 25,000. And in 3 years, we've been able to retire Zach. Zach doesn't work anymore. We've been able to pay off debt. The only thing really we have left is our house And we paid off so much. Like we paid down $30,000 on our house. And in addition to all the other debt that we have, paid off cars. Zach has only a little bit of student loans left. And we've been able to, we have season passes or annual passes, whatever they're called, to Disney. We go to Disney multiple times a year. We've been able to buy, a bigger house that we thought was going to be big enough for one kid. Now we have two kids, so now we're going to be moving again. Works is allowing us to do that, have a huge down payment. We're able to just, honestly, my favorite thing is live. And just not worry. Like every month, I don't have to think about my bills anymore. I don't have to worry about what comes out when, or, what comes up, because we all know things come up all the time. And if anybody knows me and follows me on Facebook, this house that we live in now, everything that possibly could have broken this house has broken. We've replaced the entire kitchen, all the appliances, everything. Like we've done a huge patio. We have a 41 by 18 patio in our backyard, and redone the porch. I mean, it's literally anything that could have went wrong. So, I'm thankful through all that It Works has been able to pick up the bill, and we don't have to, stress out anymore.
Wow. I think we could all just get off of here now and get to work, because now we know, we know what's coming. And I think that that's the biggest thing here, Katie, is not only do you have an extremely inspiring story, but energetically you're extremely inspiring. I was telling my mom today, I had lunch with her and I said that I was doing this Zoom tonight. And she was like, she just shows up. You can tell Katie just shows up. She shows up with her energy. She shows up with her fire. She shows up with her passion. And she said that she can just tell that you radiate that through your entire team. And so I thought that was just an awesome compliment from her to you, and just, it's true. And I think that tonight, that's what we should focus on. We should focus on what it takes to get to the next level in this business, and some of the getting started tips, and just how you pour so much good energy into your team, how you guys are progressing so quickly. And so let's start with some questions. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got some really good questions, and some of these were from leaders, and then across the board, just various levels in the organization. So biggest one here. So when you decided that you were going to go like full on, when you were going to promote, okay, that when you made that decision, and you made a decision to just pour into your team and say, we're going presidential, what do you feel like were some of the first couple of things that you did in the beginning of that process to make sure that you had everything lined up to go? I mean, do you have a good answer for that?
Yeah, I do. Actually, so whenever we decided to go presidential, because I've been wanting presidential for a very long time, and I was really excited to go presidential. So I just was I got to the point where whenever, like when we're scaling back to like the earlier promotions, from executive to Ruby and so on, what you need to know is, do you have a leader in place that's willing to run with you? Mm-hmm. And, sometimes I think this is a big thing. You've got to understand that whenever you find that person, you want to invest in them and really like go help them and work with them, encourage them, and get on the level that they are, so that you guys can work together, because nothing is possible with, like, you're not going to promote without your team. So, I got with my leaders, and I told them, I'm like, all right, you're going diamond, and that's basically, I already had 2 triples under me, so we were good to go. But for my 2 diamonds, I'm like, all right, girl, like, you're ready for this. You can go diamond. And I just got with my leaders. I rallied them up, and I'm like, let's go. And, I got them excited. I let them know, like, hey, like, you're getting the Ruby bonus. You're getting the Ruby bonus. Everybody's getting a Ruby bonus. You're getting the Emerald bonus. You're getting the Diamond bonus. Like, let's just go get this money real quick. And at that point, like, I got them so ready and so pumped up that, like, it was just kind of like a no-brainer. We just knew at that point we were ready to go, ready to work together, and just kind of go all out for, the month of August.
And I think what's so important here is, throughout this whole time, this past year, you were pregnant, and you had a rough pregnancy. It was not easy for you. Many conversations you and I had personally just about how hard it was, just, physically on your body. And yet you still were consistent. And I think that that is something here that is so important that we talk about, is your consistency is so on point. And in any business, no matter what you're doing, that is so vitally important. So what are some of the consistent things that you do on a daily basis to unlock these promotions? Because Katie, along the way, you also had people promoting. This wasn't just all about you. This isn't just all about Katie. This is about your team and them accomplishing big goals in their life. So what were some of the consistent things that you did day to day to make sure that you were taking care of your business and that you were leading your team?
Yeah. Okay. So, while I was pregnant, that was honestly the worst, like 9-10 months, whatever, of my life. It was really, really hard. And I can't even explain it. Like, besides, it was just torture, honestly. And so going through that and like keeping my business, like my paychecks but they were steadily going up throughout my pregnancy and not dropping. And that's mainly because, one, I do not, I don't make excuses when it comes to like, this is my main course of income. So I don't say, well, I'm really tired. Like, yeah, I'm tired all the time. Okay. And I couldn't just say like, I'm tired, I'm just not going to work today or tomorrow. Yes, it's okay to take a breather day. But, your mom said like, basically, and this stuck out to me, go under your blankets for like a couple hours or whatever. And then you just get back up and go. Mm-hmm. And that's mainly what I kind of like my motto is just like, if you're having a tough day, take a few hours to yourself, set the phone down and get yourself back together and get back at it, which includes I never miss a day. I'm posting every day. I am constantly every day. I message. I'm excited. I'm on my Instagram, on the stories. I'm constantly present on my platforms. Mm-hmm. And no matter what, I let my followers view what my life. So if I'm not feeling good, throughout my pregnancy, I would say things like, I'm just really tired today. I'm not feeling well, but, I'm thankful that I don't have to go to work, because imagine if I had a job that I had to go to work when I felt like that, Yeah. So I just shared my journey. I was consistent with it, posting, messaging, growing my market, and really, and like, of course, the follow-up, but mainly posting, letting people in on my journey through that entire thing. That gained me a pretty big following through that. And it actually allowed me to build a lot more relationships with other people who had issues with their pregnancies and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just showing your life is so vitally important in what we do. I mean, we live in a world where we're building on social media primarily anymore, and that's so true. So what are some of the tips that you were giving your team? Like, let's say you're launching a brand new team, a couple new team members. What are you walking them through? Like, what is the getting started look like for someone brand new in your organization?
Okay, so this is kind of funny, but okay, so my new people that get started, as soon as they get started, I have them watch my training video. I did a training video, it's like 30 minutes. And I'm just going over basic things like, BV versus GV, auto ships, what's a loyal customer versus a retail customer, what we should be doing daily, why auto ships are important, things like that. It's just like all the basic stuff. They have to watch that within their first 24 hours in the business. If they don't watch it in their first 24 hours, I will follow up with them after the 24-hour mark, somewhere around there, and I'll say, hey, girl, did you watch the video? If they say no, I've been busy. I'm like, okay, cool. You watch that and get back to me when you're done. If they don't message me, that's fine. That's on them. But other than that, I find somebody else who's ready to work. So if they watch that video and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to go. I'm like, cool. So I get them on that video. Then we're going to make their first post. Their first post is formatted in basically a story form. I want them to tell me, not only do I want them to tell me who they are, but why they're doing this business. So basically, actually, hold on. I signed up a few distributors today, so I can tell you really quick. Okay, so the list says, who are you? What's your name? Where are you from? Where do you go to school? If you're in school, what do you do for work if you're not in school? And what are you excited about this year? Why is this business important to you? And why did you start? And what do you want really bad? It can be anything: paying off a car, buying a car, coming out of school debt free, being able to spoil yourself, not struggling, things like that. And I just send them this list and I tell them, put that in a paragraph form for me and send it to me. So when they send it to me, I edit it. I put the emojis in. I put it into exactly how I would post so that they understand, like, this is kind of like a format of how, we're going to post things. So anyways, they send it to me, I edit them. And then they send me a picture of them. They get that posted. Once that's up, then a few hours later, we're going to start talking about product posts. And usually I go off of what is a product you're dying to try? Like, out of all the stuff that we have, tell me what is like you are just, losing it over. And whatever that product is for them, we're going to make posts about that for them. So it can be, you know, if it's hair, skin, and nails, I want them to ask their family and friends, like, hey, would you be willing to, you know, use this product for me? Or I will have them, you know, post on their social media, like, oh my gosh, you know, check out Katie's results, because I want them to know that all the products work, and seeing my before and afters on the products that they choose, because I have one for like everything. So I want them to be able to be like, okay, well, this is my friend Katie, and I always can help them if their customers have any questions, and then until they're getting their own results with that product. And that is the first product that I want them to get with their shopping spree. So that's pretty much kind of like a quick timeline.
Love that. You're going to have to give us those questions. Those are such good storybook questions. I love that so much. And so after that, you know, there's a part of this process, Katie, and this promotion time and this time that people are wanting to really move quickly, that things have to start building momentum. You know, we're looking at today, you know, whenever you're watching this recording, this is all relative information, but today is the 19th of September. There are so few days left in the month, and there are a lot of people looking at the rest of the month going, I want to lock in this ruby bonus, or I want to lock in this emerald bonus, or I want to lock in this diamond bonus, and can take all of these tips and start building momentum with their team. And so some of the questions that were coming in had to do with power hours, like, do you do daily power hours? Do you focus on host to post? You know, then the question did come in, you know, what do you start having people post during, you know, in the first, you know, couple days? So that helped a lot. So what's the best way that you have found to rally momentum with a lot of new people joining your team in a very short period of time? And then I have another question to follow up that.
Okay, so when people first start, and like I said, I only play ball with people who are ready to play ball. So if you're, you know, if they're like messaging me, and guys, it's so crazy because there's people that jump in and I'm always this excited about a new team member, like always. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I'm telling them right away, like, hey, like this is what we're gonna do. Let me know when you're done. And if they're ready to go back and forth with me, like they're asking me questions, then I am just constantly there for support. And I'm telling them like, okay, let's get another post up, giving them kind of a template. And I let them know like, okay, so second day in, we're talking about, okay, so you need to make some lifestyle posts today. And I want to make sure that they understand, like, usually in their first few days, I only have to make, like, one lifestyle, one product until they're comfortable. Then they can start doing more, kind of like we do regularly. And so I will tell them, like, hey, write up what you think is a good lifestyle post and send it to me. I'm going to help you edit it. And just by doing little things like this, like giving them that support, and being there for questions, getting on a Zoom one-on-one. My personally enrolled team, I will get on a Zoom with them within the first few days so we can talk about goals. I want to talk about, you know, where you want to be. And I give them a realistic expectation on where they can be in the next 30 days if they dedicate themselves to this. So, and like by doing that, I give them the task needed to get to their goal in that time. So if that's, you know, executive in 30 days, I let them know you need 2 team members, but first you're going to need your first 4 customers, because if you're going to train a team, you need to know how to get customers, because that's how we get paid. So I will tell them, you know, let's focus on customers. We get their first 4, and then we're going to talk about, you know, growing your team. And then I kind of start guiding them in that way. But really just getting there, being with them, get on a Zoom, you know, take the time, take the 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour, and just get on and be like, okay, you know, tell me your goals. And just being a friend, I can't tell you guys enough, like how much that will do for your girls and how powerful it is for them.
Yeah, I love that so much. I'm writing so many notes. These are such great leadership notes for everybody, no matter where you are in the business. This is so helpful. Okay. So I have such an awesome team. I love that. I love when someone starts out like that. And I feel like I'm working every day. I'm doing lives for them once a week, a training once a week, personal posting and messaging. But I want to make sure that as a leader, I want to make sure that I'm taking my team to the next level. I'm doing the right activity and not the wrong. Hopefully that makes sense. So basically they're asking, just want to make sure that I'm doing the right things. I'm going live, I'm doing trainings, I'm doing personal posting, I'm messaging. Maybe what can I do more of? How can I rally my troops? What could you add to that to answer that question?
Okay, so I'm assuming this is meaning like, how do I get my team moving at the same pace?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all right, so this is how this is what I do as far as getting my team in place. So I layered out my leadership throughout my team. So what we do as a team is we don't really have we don't have a schedule or anything like that, but like we all post in the page. So if you have a leader on your team, team up with them and be like, okay, like make sure, like, let's do some inspirational posts on the page this week, or, let's do a tip of the day for a few days this week, and really just going through your team. And if it's just you that's like, leading right now, then you go on your team page. And if you have an upline that has a team page, you go on that team page and you start leading your team and saying, going live or doing posts or whatever to help encourage the team. Just a tip of the day from you or somebody in your downline is going to make a big difference to other people. And I can say this, when I first started, it was so big for me at first to just see, a Ruby leader go on the team page and just make a tip. Like, I was so inspired by a Ruby.
Yeah.
So you never have to be, don't ever feel like because you're not diamond and above that you're not a leader and people don't look up to you, because they do. I used to love that so much, like seeing rubies and emeralds. I always just, in diamond, like, I just thought that was like the craziest thing. So, tips on the team page, doing, basically tips on team page, doing power hours with your team.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to do a million. Like, if you just do 1 or 2 a week and then have some girls on your team do a few a week, or hop on another leaders. Like, I encourage anytime I see another power hour by another leader, I share it with my team so that they're always having that support, because one team, one mission. I want everybody to rally together and just really have that sense of like community support. But I think that's the main thing really, is just, and of course checking in. That's another thing too that I do. I check in with my leaders, and I don't have a set time for any certain person. If they're like a diamond and above, I check in, a couple times a week, because I know they got their stuff, they're good to go. But if they're newer, like they just had, signed their first few distributors, I'm constantly checking in, making sure they're okay. They know I'm here if they need any help. But that's that's all I do.
Yeah. And I think too, like sometimes I even know who's asking these questions, and I would say some people feel like they're the only ones on their team right now. And some of them are the only ones on their team right now, or they have 1 or 2 people. And you've been there, Katie. I've been there. I've so been there. You've so been there. What can you say to relate to that and remembrance of that moment and how you plowed through and kept going? Because it does take an army to build this business. It does take an army to get to Presidential Diamond, but it is about layered leadership, and it is about progressing forward. And you had many moments in your time in this company, and you will, where you've got to grow. So remember those moments, and what was it like for you to be like, oh, if I could just have one person like me, if I could just have one person that has the fire that I have. How did you plow through that and get through that time?
Okay. So, oh, wow. Okay. So there's so many things I could say about this. All right. So first thing I want to say is, I do not give up on my people. Okay. So basically, like, if you have somebody on your team and they move slow, and I know this because I'm as red as it gets, and I just feel like everything clicks for me very easily, very simply. Mm-hmm. But at the beginning, like, I did have to ask for help, because I, believe it or not, even though I'm a master recruiter now, I could not sign a distributor to save my life in the beginning. Like, I felt like that was the impossible task, and it was impossible for me. I was never going to be able to do it. So I look back and think about that. So when I have a new person, I hope Brittany doesn't care that I say this, but Brittany was my second distributor I ever signed up. And Brittany was not crazy enroller at first. And I didn't know that Brittany was going to be the leg that sticks with me, the leg that builds with me, and, my biggest leg in my organization. So she wasn't like taken off very quick. And I think that's important too, to make sure that you don't leave people behind just because they move at a slower pace. Mm-hmm. But in addition, like I said, I play ball with people who are ready to play ball. I teach them, I take my time with them. But let's say nobody's working and like it's just dead. Like, we all know who those people are. They're not doing anything. Shake the dead weight, let it go, and get it off your conscience, because that's going to weigh you down if you're constantly stressing out about who's not working, what's not happening. And, well, she was supposed to go Ruby, but she's not. And, whatever, you got to like shake that off and let it go. I literally will get a clean chart and be like, well, this is who I got, so let's go with this. And I just move with the people that are moving. And if you do that and just let go of all the dead stuff, then you don't remember it. You don't even know it's there. You're just constantly moving forward and working with the people who are moving. And if you need to start a new team, start a new team. That's no problem at all. And when you do that, you're going to feel way more refreshed than feeling like, okay, I got to check in with Sally, who's not doing anything. And I know she's probably not going to answer me for 2 days. but whatever. Just let go of the negative energy, find somebody new and like get that fire with them and build with them. And if they're not ready to do it, you find somebody else and keep doing that, because you will find somebody who is willing to run. You just got to sign up. It's all in the numbers. And, I believe that the numbers are higher when when you invest in them and you're excited for them. And, you really take the time to get to know them and just run with them, really.
Yeah. It's like, I had an aha moment come in from a power hour the other day. And they were saying, I love this because it keeps me from focusing on one person for too long, because I have to keep moving and I have to keep messaging. And I think that's the same concept here, is that we keep going. There may be people that aren't ready to promote yet. There may be people that aren't ready to move at maybe the pace that we are, but maybe they are eventually. You don't give up on them. And that's what Katie's saying. You keep pouring into them. You keep giving to your team. You keep showing up every day. And through the process, they will likely knock on your door and say, hey, listen, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to promote. I'm ready to get over myself, and I'm ready to do this. Meanwhile, you've promoted to Diamond. Meanwhile, you've already moved forward. Meanwhile, you've got a team that's rocking. And I think that's important here to understand, is that you keep going regardless, and you keep moving forward, and you keep working through that. And they'll be ready when they're ready. Look at Brittany. She's commenting, it took me 9 months to go Ruby. But you didn't wait for Brittany. You were glad and ready when she was ready. And that's what's important, because everybody has their own journey in this business. But so for you personally, let's talk about that for a second. Taking some of those action steps. What were some of the things that you did to get yourself moving through those moments? Some of the tips, like you had a 6 list. What does it look like? What's on it? Because I know you go live like every second, and that's important for you right now. What were some of the things that you do and you teach your team to do as far as like building and branching out? Because not everybody on your team built on social media. Most of them do, but not everybody does. And so what are some of the steps that people can take now to create that urgency in their business?
Okay, so to create urgency, there's so many things that you can do, and it goes along with like basically how bad do you want it? And that's like the main thing you've got to figure out is how bad do you want to go Ruby or Emerald or whatever, and what are you willing to do to get there? So what I would do, and like what I did in all those moments, even in the darkest moments where I was like the only one working, or I feel like I'm the only one working, I get out my journal and I write down what's going to happen in the next 30 days. So, and if you're trying to promote this month, then you need to write down what's going to happen in the next 11 days for you. And the craziest thing ever that I just want to share this because it's wild, in my journal, I was journaling all through July, and every single end of my July thing, it says XOXO Katie Bevington, or Presidential Diamond Katie Bevington, every single time. And I was constantly speaking life, and we had, like, I don't even know, we had over, I think it was, $80,000 in volume jump in that time. And I continuously talked about, how my team is mass and roller. We are the fastest growing team. We are the fastest growing team. And that's just, I speak that into my journal daily. And I tell, myself, I am a mass and roller, and my team is on fire to promote to Ruby. And all my new girls are so excited, and they just are so passionate about the products. I'm constantly journaling what I want to see in my business as if it's already happening. Every single day I talk about new things, and it could be, sometimes it's just me. Like, I talk about, I am extremely, confident. I'm excited. Even though I may not feel like that yet, I'm already speaking it out into existence. And let me see. I will show you guys. I'm going to read this to you. It's going to blow your mind. This one? Yeah, it's this one. Okay. So when I first started journaling, I write down all the Bible verses that I find throughout the day, because I read a devotional every day. And this stuck out to me. Right after I started journaling, it says, I tell you that you can pray for anything, and if you believe that you've received it, it will be yours. It's Mark 11:24. And through that process, everything that I've been journaling about is coming to life, and it's so exciting. So that is the number one thing on my list. I do not miss. I journal daily, and I talk about my goals. I talk about where I'm going, where my team's going, and where am I going to be in the next month, year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever. In addition to that, because that's getting your mindset right first thing in the morning. It's you're telling yourself what's going to happen. So after I do that, I will immediately start posting. You got to get your posts out. And then after you post, you've got to get out, friend requests or follow requests, whatever, if you're building on social. And then, of course, you need to message. I follow up. I get with my team. I've been, this month I've really been pouring into my leaders. So for me this month, I've been doing a lot of one-on-ones. I've been, setting up appointments and things like that. And then also I've been just straight up getting loud with the products, using the products and getting more excited about that and reaching out to people about the products. And just trying to keep up. Honestly, this month has been so crazy with all the people reaching out to me. So just keeping up with that. And then I also, every single day, I make sure I post to my team page, and that's the non-negotiable. I make sure that my team knows, what's going on. If we have announcements, if I have something encouraging to say, I go live in my team page. I go live on my personal page. I think lives are non-negotiables, to be honest, because people just love to see your excitement. They love to see what's going on. They want to know who you are, why they should follow you. And I went live, I think it was yesterday. I don't know. Like I said, I can't remember anything. But yesterday, I think it was, and I had like 6 messages before I even hopped off my live. And that was just from one video of me getting all excited, all hyped up or whatever. And I had 6 new messages from people I've never talked to before. And it was crazy because after that, I got on my Instagram and just like talked a little bit on my story. And then I had more messages on there flowing in. So lives are important. Your team's important. Journaling's important. Posting and messaging. Messaging is a non-negotiable. You message everybody that is liking your posts.
And I love that. I had this question come in from my business coach on her Facebook page, and she said, what is stopping you from getting everything that you want? Really think about this question. Many times when I ask clients, I get superficial responses, typically money as their excuse, etc. But I want you to really rise up and own what is stopping you. Journal about this, think about this. And then after you do that is when you start writing what you're creating. And last night I was journaling before bed because I do the same thing that Katie does. It is amazing. Like, guys, it so works. So I'm going to share a similar story. I was journaling last night before bed, and Scott knows I get my journal and I go to, it's just this process at night. And I was journaling, like, my dream clients come to me. I am Black Diamond with It Works Global. My dream clients come to me. They come easily, effortlessly, and I just have this flow. And then I had this click that was like, well, who is my dream client? Am I even writing them down? Do I even define who they are? And I started writing down who my dream client is. And I mean, it was just like flowing on the paper. And I get a message this morning, I have 6 college and loyal customers to put in. I've got to join you right now. And it was like, oh my gosh, because I was saying, like, my team, they get large orders from loyal customers. They're loyal customer magnets. It's like, it just started flowing. And then I get this message, boom, I've got to join you right now. I've got 5 or 6 loyal customers to put in. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, like, to wake up like that, you guys, isn't that how you want to wake up every single day? That's how you want to wake up. And it's like, it's got to just flow. And so this isn't like woo-woo weirdo stuff. This is biblical. It works. This is law. This is universal. This is everything that we're saying. And we're not standing here right now, sharing all this with you if it didn't work. And so, Katie, thanks so much for sharing that, because so inspired. Okay. When you have someone in your team that doesn't maybe interact, answer calls, complete their initial training, what do you do next? Do you just drop them? Like, what does that process look like? Let them just hang out on the team page for a little while? When someone stops working their business, what conversation do you have with them, or do you just focus on those who are producing? You kind of answered this, but I want to make sure everyone's questions are asked.
Okay, yeah. So if they don't finish their video in the first 24 hours, and this kind of goes back to the way that I get people started, because I'm very strict with who I allow on my team and who I don't. So I have spots, and this is a training for a whole different thing, but I open spots basically is what I'm saying. So my spots are limited. I only train a certain amount of people every month. I found that 10 people a month is about my sweet spot. Sometimes I open up more, sometimes I don't. It just depends on how I'm feeling. But when I give somebody a spot, I make sure they understand that this spot is important. It is, I am training you. I expect that if you want to join my team, that you're ready to go. You want to work with me. And so I give them the 24 hours to go ahead and watch my 30-minute video. And if they can't do it in 24 hours, and this is, again, on a regular day, no emergencies come up, you're basically just saying, it's not a priority. If you don't make this a priority, then I'm not going to make you a priority in my team. So they have 24 hours. If they don't watch it, that's okay. I will ask them again, after that, I'm like, hey, girl, do you have time to watch it? If they're like, oh, my gosh, no, I haven't, blah, blah, blah. If they get back to me right away, okay, that's totally fine. Watch it, and I'll follow up with you in a few days. If they just, don't answer me, then, okay, that's fine. Then I just don't message them back. If they answer me and they just say something like, I've been busy with school, I'm going to finish it off tonight. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll message you in the morning. I message in the morning. Usually everything's good. That's when we get the first post up. And then as far as if they're working and then they stop working, I notice this because, again, I say I have limited spots. I'm working with my new people to teach them to build big. So I will notice if people start to slack, and then I'll message them and just be like, hey, girl, I noticed that you haven't been as present lately. Is everything okay? And usually at that point, I can figure out, if they'll say something like, well, I've been really stressed out. I wasn't getting a lot of customers. I'm struggling. And then we can fix it from there. But I don't give up on people unless they do not answer me, because I'm not going to chase you down to work. And two, I want to make sure that I am their friend as well as their upline. I think friends come first with this. So I want to make sure that they are okay. And I've done everything that I can for them as far as, helping them to be successful.
Yeah. What do you think makes your team, because when we run the reports, we see who's mass enrollers, we see who's at the top. And Katie, your team's consistently in that top tier of mass enrollers. What do you think makes your team that? What do you think it is that you all are doing that someone here might be going, I'm looking for the secret, I'm looking for the tip, I'm looking for, it's work. We know it's work, but what is your answer for that?
We get to work. We have training. We have worked very hard to build up training for our team. So it is effortless. When I tell you, you cannot fail. You really can't. It's your fault, honestly. I don't know a better way to say that. It's just your fault, because we have training set up so specifically. So you have a getting started video, and then you have, a posting video. We have examples of what to post. We have a document on how to post, when to post, what to post. And then we've got a task sheet. What do you do every day? And then we have everything lined up for them. So I will tell them, this is what we do. And of course I guide them, and all of our leaders, we follow pretty much the same thing as far as training them, and keeping them on that schedule, making sure the urgency is there, the excitement is there. And if they're ready to work, we are ready to run. And I think that's kind of how we've set the tone. We always say the leader determines the pace of the pack. And it's true, because I'm running, I'm excited, I'm ready to go. And my people are doing that. And Brittany's team is the same way. And, all my other leaders are the same way too. They're running towards their next promotion. So we're not slowing down. And that was, I'll give you guys a tip on here that aren't yet to Diamond. Don't slow down after your promotion. Even though you're tired, do not stop, because it takes so much longer to pick that back up. So if you're feeling down, get your leader, even as an executive, a Ruby leader, get your leader under you. If you have a distributor under you, you are a leader. You are leading somebody in your business. So you've got to make sure that you have them to back you up. And it's okay to, ask your leaders hey, I'm really, really busy. The kids are crazy. I'm tired today. Can you step up for me? Can you do a post for me in the team page? And you guys, 9 times out of 10, they are going to be more than honored to do that for you. They're going to be excited. So I think I just make everybody feel like, one, you can come to me for anything. I want to know, you can come to me for help. You can come to me for whatever you need. If you just need a friend, I have an ear that's open at all times. And then secondly, we are running towards ambassador. So, I think that's the most important thing, is just knowing, even getting your new people to understand, this team is moving.
I love it. I love this so much. It's so true. So the question came in on the chat. Okay, talk a little bit about, so let's just talk quickly about posting. you talked through some of the getting started segments of this and getting them off the gate. Like, love all the questions, love it all. So what happens if you don't really know what to post? This question came through. So how do you, I know you guys have some step-by-step on your team, but not everybody here is in your organization. So what happens if you don't really know what to post?
Okay, so if you don't know what to post, I'm pretty sure that I have one on my YouTube, if I can get my video uploaded on my YouTube. And it says basically just posting, okay? And in a nutshell, that it will go over things like, you basically want to be posting 80% of your life and 20% it works. And I create so much urgency on my feed. And, some people get confused by that. When you first come in, you think, I got to post about the products all the time in order to get a customer. And that's not true. You want to make sure people see you, fall in love with you, who you are, what do you like? What's your personality like? What's your favorite things? And then when you incorporate it works into these things, just like doing a product post, talking about why.
Whoa. Ooh, what happened?
I think somebody shared their screen.
Okay, how do we chat?
There we go. We're good. So I just put in I don't have a rhyme or rhythm. I just do what I feel like doing. What I feel like my flow needs. So on my face, I work mostly Instagram, so I'll just tell you that. On my Instagram, I put about 10 to 15 stories on my Instagram story every day. And every day I talk about what I love the most. So right now, collagen is my jam. So every single night I do a picture of my collagen before I go to bed, because I take it before I go to bed. So I'm seeing that on there every day. But in between that, you never want to just put a product post on your Instagram story and hop off. You need to have you, which means know it works. So just you, and then a product post, and then you. You do not ever leave just a business or a product post on your story by itself, because people need to see you. They don't care about, product or business if you aren't a part of it. So they fall in love with you before they fall in love with the business or the products. So constantly just posting about things. And guys, I mean anything. I post about, today I posted about just sitting on my couch out my back patio while I was working. I post about going to Starbucks while I'm shopping, the grocery store, I don't even go grocery shopping. I pick up my groceries. So I post about picking up my groceries. I post about my kids. I post about food, dogs, shakes, really anything. I feel like Netflix, if I see something, on Netflix, I'm like, who's watched this? Really anything that you, when you look through your Facebook timeline, what is everybody else talking about? What did you talk about before you joined It Works? And I think that's the most thing, because a lot of people, forget, what were you like before you started It Works? Those are the things you've got to post for people to still, look at your page, okay? Social media is social. It is meant for you to be social, not to just be an advertisement. So sharing that and then incorporating the product and the business into your post. And I would say every day I post about at least the product or business in some sort of way. Sometimes it's indirectly with just a picture of me with the collagen. Be like, oh my gosh, I just love this stuff. And then that's it. That's the post. And then the next day I could be like, this collagen's crazy. I can't wait to show you guys my before and after pictures. I love it so much. It's been helping so much with my acne scars and yada, yada, yada. That's a more direct, this is it. And then I have 3 discount spots open. That's a direct post versus indirect. And I switch it up all the time. And my profile on Facebook is public. So if you guys want to look, you can totally go look.
Oh, that little hand right there. I love that. So sweet. So when they like your post, let's talk for a second about just the action steps that you take on social media as far as reaching out to people. This is important for all of you watching right now. For those of you that have team that are brand new, we always say posting is not asking, right? We still have to be direct. We still have to do our power hours. We still have to reach out. We still have to, we still have to do the work, right? That is the key and secret to all of this, is you've got to do the work. And so when they like your post, Katie, what do you end up messaging them about? How do you start that conversation? How do you ignite that conversation to lead it to a sale, to a new enrollment? And I know, like you said, a lot of people now at this point in momentum that you're in will message you. And that does happen, you guys. Guess what? It does happen. You build up so much momentum in your business that the messages start pouring in because your influence is there. And I think we need to remember that is in this process, you are building your influence to where people want to be around you. They want to have what you have. They want your life. That's what Katie's done for herself. She didn't start there. but she still posted with passion. She still posted with grace. She still posted with excitement. So Katie, what is some of that process in just reaching out and making that engagement?
Yeah. So when I reach out, I do everything personal. I don't copy and paste. So whenever I'm messaging people off of my posts, and this is important to remember too, if you just started and you get like 2 likes, don't panic. That's normal. And don't compare yourself to anybody else's profile that gets 100 likes or 200 likes or something, because, they started at the bottom too, and it's normal to get 2 likes on your post at first. So, when I reach out to people that like my post, I will say something like, if it's a business post, like, hey, Sarah, I saw that you've been liking quite a few of my posts about my business, or, about what I do for work. Are you looking to make, some extra money, or would you be interested in hearing about how you can make extra money from home? And I always try to throw in a compliment, but I don't force it if I can't think of something genuine. So if I can't look at their page and think of something, I just leave it at that. But if I can see, like, oh my gosh, I see your pictures of you and your girls all the time. They're adorable. And, I love how they always match or something. I try to throw in a comment, but like I said, if it's not genuine, I just don't say it. So don't force something if it's going to make it weird. But same thing with the products. I say, hey, Sarah, I noticed that you liked quite a few of my posts about the collagen. I am loving it. Have you ever tried collagen before? And I always, no pressure. You don't want to just you don't want to go right in and just bite. You want to make it so casual that they aren't pressured and they will open up and talk to you. And by doing that, you are 100 times more likely going to make the sale and get a new customer or get a new team member, because you're being genuine and not just anxious to get a sale quick. Remember that we are building this big, building wide. And, in the long run, if they order today, great. If they order in a month, great. You're still going to need a customer in 3 months and 6 months and a year. So if they don't order today, that's okay. Somebody else is going to order, but don't rush somebody just because you need something now. Somebody else will order, but not rushing them will get you the sale in the long run.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Such good tips. So let's end with one last question, unless anyone has anything. Katie, let's say I'm diamond, or I want to go diamond this month. I want to go double, want to go triple. I'm ready for Prez, whatever that is, emerald, ruby, executive, anything, you guys. I have 11 days left. What do I do right now? How do I create urgency in my leaders that need to promote? How do I go to my team and say, we're doing this? I remember, because you guys, it was Thanksgiving, and that was the month we promoted ambassador, and I had to just go, we're doing it. And we had 2 days left. It was we're doing this, team. And we did it. In 2 days, we finished out this massive promotion, and it's all possible. Katie, what could you say to them just to add any value to this conversation we've already been having?
Okay. So it really I've literally seen the craziest things happen in a week. Okay. 6 days, 5 days. So it doesn't matter that there's 11 days left. What matters is what you're willing to do in the next 11 days to make whatever your goal is happen. And I think to make that happen, what you've got to do is rally your leaders that are promoting with you, rally your 400 boxes, everybody that's a part of that promotion, rally them together and be like, hey girls, let's get on a power hour at 9:30 and let's just bust out some customers real quick. Let's get out some post-it posts. Let's go ahead and write up a story post. If you need more distributors, it can literally anything at that point can happen. And making sure you're asking them for power hours, making sure you as a leader are posting and doing something for quick results. And I know I gave this tip before. I don't remember where, but basically saying if you need quick customers, you need a product with quick results. And luckily we have so many things that give quick results. Lip and eye, which right now is on, promo, and the wrap and defining gel and stretch mark cream and hair, skin and nails and collagen. All these things give boom, boom, boom results. And you guys, if you need customers and you're using the product, that's all it takes. I can tell you guys right now, I don't sell any keto coffee that's not a month supply. I would say 99.5% of my customers order the whole month because I never offer the 15-day supply. And same thing with the skincare. And that's going to bring you in big BV orders. But I'm obsessed with the coffee. I drink it every day. And I do the collagen every day. And just by doing that, I'm you need the month supply. I don't even offer it in 15 days. And people just do that. They're like, okay, you look awesome. Like, I'm willing to do whatever you're doing to make my skin look like that. And just by using the product, showing that urgency, getting to work, asking people, and really just working hard. And something that you guys need to understand, when you're going for a promotion, you are working very, very hard to make that happen. And that means longer hours than a month that you are not promoting. That means you're going to be sitting down and actually working, asking, and getting out there. And if you guys want to do events or things like that, like I have a team right now that is pushing for big promotions, that they are looking everywhere for vendor events to get out and just go and get quick customers, sell keto coffee and, samples, and sell wraps and things like that to make extra cash too. You gotta be willing to do whatever it takes, and don't get discouraged by looking at numbers. And I just told my team this last night. I said, when I first started, I thought 1,000 BV was like Mount Everest. It was like it was the impossible. Nobody does that. And last month when we started off, we needed over 10,000 BV for presidential, and it happened. And for my triple promotion, we went up 50K in a month in GV. So I've seen crazy things happen in this business. I've seen a leader need 3,000 volume 7 days out and still get that promotion because of that. So don't doubt yourself. Journal in the morning and then just work as much as you possibly can to get it done. Don't make excuses. There is no TV, no fun time. You celebrate when it's over.
Amazing. I love it. I think we nailed it. I just appreciate, what do you journal about? She talked about that earlier in the Zoom. If you guys want to go back and watch the recording, anything you would add to that, Katie, of just someone who's just getting started in the process of journaling? I mean, it's such a new thing to so many people.
Okay, so the most important thing you need to understand is you don't write like, I really want to go Emerald. Like, I am so excited that I am an Emerald leader. It feels so incredible. And I will tell you guys, like, for me, I'll give you guys what I journal about and how I talk about it, because it made me so excited. I'm still excited to share this whenever I get to be up on stage as a presidential. So I said, wow, oh my God, this just gave me chills. I haven't reread my day one, but I'll read this to you guys just so you guys can kind of get a feel for this, because this is wild. Thank you, God, for making us a top 50, which now we're in the top 40, presidential team. It felt so incredible hearing my name announced on stage as a presidential diamond. I am overwhelmed with joy, excitement, and gratitude over this promotion. So many people on my team are now making thousands of dollars each month and are able to live freely. I am so in love with this business and building up my team with strong leaders. God, thank you for leading us to this position. Our team is enrolling so many team members, and they are so excited. I love watching them learn and dream bigger. We are growing faster than ever with the most passion we've ever had for this business. XOXO, love Presidential Diamond, Katie Bevington. That was my first journal entry, and it was on July 18th, 2018.
I am like just in love with this right now. That is everything right there, Katie. You just made all that happen.
I know. I'm like, when I saw top 50, I was like, whoa, that actually just happened. Well, I haven't read that since I wrote it.
This is just so awesome. I was watching the highlights from, I think it was the Emmy Awards, and there was this actress being interviewed, and the interview question was, can you believe all this has happened in your life in 2 years? And she goes, yeah, I created this. I saw all of this happening. I created all of this. And I'm like, yeah, that's what this is about. That's exactly what this is about. That's exactly what you just did, Katie. It's so awesome.
It's crazy.
You did it. I love it. I can't wait to see the future. What does that look like for you and your team? What's next in your journal?
What's going next is, I was just thinking about this today. I was talking to Zach, because every time I hit a big promotion, I've got to really start thinking what can you do with more than 30,000 a month? I mean, that's a big number. So we started thinking about it. And the next thing happening for us is we're going to be ambassador, and we're going to be in the top 10. And I am so excited about that. And now I'm thinking about, how's that going to feel when my name gets called as Ambassador Diamond top 10? And that's really, I remember what it felt like to be number 149 in February when I got that email. That was just the most overwhelming, exciting thing ever. And then when we got updated numbers and it said 79, and I just about passed out, and I was like, holy cow. And then, seeing this email, I was like Zach, what? can you look at this? Like, is this really what this says right now? So I think, yeah, just, I cannot, like, top 10 Ambassador Diamond, and being able to have my team in top 150, you know, being in that was the coolest thing ever, guys. I'm telling you, being in top 150, having the exclusive seating, and being able to just, you know, be there with people that you've looked up to forever, and being up close and personal and talking to people, it's just so amazing, really, and exciting. But man, I can't wait. Like, now that I just read that, tomorrow's journal entry is going to be so crazy.
Yeah. You're like, oh wait, now I can create all this too. I love it. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. We could go on all night, but you are just so special, and appreciate your leadership so much, Katie. It's such a treat.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I know everyone's so grateful. Thanks everybody. I'll get the recording out to you.